Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Rob Thomas, and in our story today, we're going to cover project management. We're going to answer two really age-old questions. What is a project and why the need for project management? Now, you'll notice here, I'm a big Microsoft enthusiast, so a lot of my references about Microsoft tools and resources will be leveraging Microsoft's 365, Planner, Microsoft Project. I also leverage from the Project Management Institute a lot of their inputs, outputs, methodologies, best practices to be a very effective project manager. So I know this sounds a little bit like Greek for some of you that are brand new to the whole project management framework, but I'm going to get into this and give you a lot of the detail and answer a lot of the questions. What is a project and what is project management? Now, you might not realize it, but if you're a business owner, a team lead, or really anyone who needs to get something new done, you are a project manager. But there's the problem. Without understanding the foundational rules of project management, your big ideas often end up late, over budget, and simply unfinished. So today I'm going to go back to the basics. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to teach you the entire foundation of project management, what a project really is, the 5 crucial questions you must answer to guarantee success, and then the core skills that turn a good leader into a great project manager. All right, so let's jump into this, okay? Now, let me just go on to answering the 3 big things that make up a project, right? So before we can manage a project, we need to know what it is. Now, here's the formal definition. I had to sit back, I had to ask some people after doing this for 25 years. I basically just really thought hard about defining what a project, is, right? And I want you to remember these 3 words. A project is a temporary endeavor with a unique goal and a usual budget. So temporary, unique, and budget. If you have those 3 things, you have a project, right? Now, first, temporary endeavor. So if I jump and start looking at talking about the core attributes of a project, temporary, unique, goal, budget, right? So unlike a day-to-day operation, like admitting patients into a hospital, which is the same procedure every day, a project has a definite start and end date. Those are the 2 very most important things you need to have to be considered a project. The project is done when you successfully hand it over to operations. If your project seems to go on forever, it means you missed the next part, defining the unique goal. And that brings me to the next part. Second, the unique goal. Every project produces a result that hasn't been done exactly the way, a certain way or your way before. Think about a hospital implementing a new scheduling system. Lots of hospitals do this, but yours has a unique constraint. Like, it's different. Your processes are different. The way you engage with patients are different. Maybe you struggle with staff shortage, right? Or maybe the biggest pain point is scheduling specialized equipment. The goal is unique to your unique situation, right? So you have a unique, or you're solving a specific problem because you have a unique goal. Now, third, the budget. Most of the time you think money, but in projects, the budget also means other constraints like the amount of resource time you have available, or the amount of staff or resources, we'll call it like people, resources that you can deploy to the project. Or I have these people working and my resources are spread thin on other projects. So they can only do 20% of their time for this project, right? And I only have access to the unique, a finite amount of equipment, tools, which I'll also term as resources. Now, over the next few months, think of something you've worked on, right? I want you to go back in your mind, those last couple of months. Think of something you worked on. Did it have a clear end date? Was the result unique? Did you have constraints? Now, if you answer yes to any of these questions, then you ran a project. All right. Now, project management is more than just checking boxes. It's a strategic discipline that boils down to answering 5 critical questions, right? And the 5 critical questions of a PM. The first one I want to talk about is, what problem are you solving? This is the why. Clearly defining the problem is 80% of the battle. As the great philosopher and baseball manager Yogi Berra once said, you've got to be very careful if you don't know where you were going, because you might not get there. So don't be a project team that doesn't know where you're going. So it's important to define the why. Next question is, how are you going to solve that problem? This is the scope. You need to flesh out your solution. What are the requirements? What are the deliverables? This defines the boundaries of your project so you don't get sidetracked. Now let's move on to 3. What's your plan for getting the project done? This is the roadmap. This is where you identify all the detailed work, the estimated time, the resources, build the schedule. You also need to spell out the rules. How will you communicate? How will you handle changes? And let's move on to 4. How will you know when you're done? This is the success criteria. You have to eliminate uncertainty. Instead of saying the new system is implemented, you define a quantifiable, measurable result. Here's an example. Productivity measurements will increase by 15% after implementation. Let's go to 5. How well did the project go? And in the project management world, we call this a retrospective. But for this, I'm keeping it simple. This is post-mortem. It's the most important step, and it's the one that is almost always skipped because everyone is ready to move on. You want to address the objectives, right? You really need to take time to review why things succeed or fail. This step makes your next project extremely better. This step just really helps you to evaluate and ask the hard questions. What did we do well on this project? What could we do to improve and be better? And what are the action items we need to take specifically to be better on the next project? Retrospective, or in here, post-mortem, is by far the one thing that always gets missed. And once you can rail that in, you could be super, super successful. As a project manager is often seen as just a person who super organized, but the best PMs use a blend of 5 key skills. And this is what I term what it takes to be a PM. All right. So, PM skill number 1, and I call this the hard skill. This is knowing how to build a project plan, read a Gantt chart, use critical path, measure performance. These are all the tools in your toolbox, right? A little bit more visuals about the tools, right? And then next, business expertise, the value driver. You must understand your organization's business, what it does, what value it creates. If you don't understand the strategy, you can't make good decisions on the fly. I mean, this is critical. This is the value driver, right? You understand what value you're creating for the business, and you got them to agree that this is what we're looking for. Value driver is key. This is super, super important when you're building your business. And then problem solving. 3, the reality check. Projects never, and I mean never, go exactly according to plan. I'm telling you, projects switch up extremely quick. Things you don't know, unforeseen external and internal factors pop up, and you just can't predict how this project is going to go. Your job is to achieve the objectives while working around the problems that mysteriously always seem to pop up at the wrong time. So be proactive, not reactive. Be positive, be inspirational. It's key to understanding what problem you're trying to solve, and never lose sight of that. That's the biggest thing. If I know what problem I'm solving and I'm chasing that aggressively, it sets me up for success. Okay, next, interpersonal skill, the glue. Projects bring people from different department groups, sometimes different companies together. I mean, learning to work with a diverse group of teams, a diverse group of skill sets. You're bringing in people from different walks of life. They're going to come in, they're going to engage with you. They're going to provide a lot of value. You're going to see their strengths, their weaknesses, and you're the glue that helps them work as a cohesive team. Like, you're the person to make everybody get along and do their best and give their best. This interpersonal skill is super, super important. But now the key, most important, the biggest one, the one you absolutely have to have. Strong leadership, the most important trait. This is key. You have to inspire people, guide them to make the right decisions, and motivate and hold them accountable. A great leader is a great project manager. I can't stress this enough. I think we're living in a generation of people that fake it till they make it. And because that mindset of fake it till they make it is they don't put in the effort to be a good leader. Like being a good leader is critical. Growing as a leader, challenging yourself, pushing yourself, motivating yourself, and then doing that for others, holding them accountable. And I'm going to show you the project plan. Like you have deliverables. It's a start and end date. This task is assigned to you under this milestone. Like you have to deliver on this date. How can I help you? What can I do to help you be super successful? Like really finding the right words at the right time will extract the best performance out of a department or group or people or someone on the project, right? Just you being crafty is really going to set you up to be super successful. All right. Now, there you have it, right? The full foundation of project management, a temporary, unique, budgeted endeavor guided by 5 crucial questions, empowered by the 5 essential skills. If project management sounds like the next step for you, the first thing you need to do is a self-assessment. Like identify one area, and it could be a technical skill or your leadership skill or a problem you're trying to solve, and build a plan to develop it, right? This is something I want to challenge you to do. And this is for, business owners. Let's say you specifically are starting your business, you're getting up, you're going, and you really want to create a good value statement, right? What value am I bringing? But you need to define the problem. So I want you to take this step to, let's focus on identifying a problem in the industry, in the market, that is painful. Like people are doing, it's painful. If you can go out and just identify that problem, grab that problem, then you start crafting your offer around that problem. Are you going to solve that? Like truly solve that problem? Start building a plan, how you want to develop and deliver that solution. And comment in the comments below. If this video was helpful, please give it a like. If you found any value from this video, again, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for any future business automate everything training. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell on your way out. Thanks for dropping by, and see you in the next one.